What is up, guys, and welcome back to Everything Goes with your host, T and K. We hope you guys had a great 4th of July as much as we did, but besides having a break, it's time to get back into this podcast as we had the Home Run Derby last night and the All-Star Game is currently going on, so let's jump into it.
Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
Alrighty, so if you follow us on our Instagram, which is at EverythingGoez TNK, you would see that we put a poll on our story yesterday of who we thought was going to win the Home Run Derby. I picked Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who put on a major show last night, and you picked Josh Bell.
He had 18 home runs, but when he goes against Acuna and has 25, there's not much you can do.
I think one thing that's pretty cool about the Home Run Derby that you can see has totally changed is the amount of home runs. And what's crazy is that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. last night beat Josh Hamilton's home runs, and what's different nowadays is that we have a time limit. They didn't have a time limit back then. They had 10 outs.
But that's why you can't compare the two because Hamilton hit 28 home runs out of 38 pitches. Back then you could take pitches. You could take a half an hour before you get through your 10 outs.
But what I'm saying is that you have to give the credit to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Because you have 4 minutes to hit as many home runs as you can. Plus, the umpire's constantly stopping your pitcher, waiting for the ball to stop.
But that went out the window. If you notice,
and Mark Teixeira said the same thing. He said they're not even going with that ruling, which is I think that's a stupid rule to have to begin with. I think you should just let them go free for all.
What they should do is they should get the kids off the field so no one gets killed, and just like you said, have a split screen, one facing out behind the pitcher, and because they couldn't even keep track of the home runs. The camera couldn't even pan out to show if the ball went out over the fence. No. There's no way they could do it. They have to do I'm watching now highlights. It should be a split screen, and I think it should be as many balls as you can hit in the 4 minutes.
So you don't want the children to be there anymore?
No, because I think if you get a 113-mile-an-hour line drive out there and one kid ducks, another one takes it to the face, you're gonna have problems. I think they should have all the kids out there behind nets, and then once all the balls are done, then they go collect all the baseballs. But I don't think. You look at the videos; they have grown men hiding behind cages. You have young kids, 7-year-olds, running around out there trying to field balls.
I think you got to give up to Bregman too, because he said that he's probably going to retire from the Home Run Derby just because I feel bad. Every year when they put him in the Home Run Derby, he's going to get someone so big. Jock Peterson put up 25 home runs to start the round off. How is Alex Bregman supposed to match that?
What's crazy? There was 312 total home runs hit last night. 91 of them alone were by Vlad, which was insane. But it doesn't matter. Vlad lost, and it kind of sucks because he spent more time swinging than anyone other than Jock Peterson.
The championship round wasn't even the best round. It was the round between him and Peterson because it went overtime twice.
He beat Peterson 40-39 with 2-3 pitch challenges.
2 times they had 3 swings.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was insane.
I thought Judge was good at hitting home runs in the Home Run Derby. And to begin with, you thought I was stupid for picking Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but if you watch his BP, that's what he does all BP. And it's insane. He's only 20 years old.
He looked like he was hurting himself. That's how hard he was swinging.
My
body hurt watching him.
That's just how hard he swings the bat, and it's crazy because he was hitting the scoreboard. Alex Bregman was the best commentator when he was just sitting there. He goes, "That ball just hit the scoreboard."
You know who I felt bad for? I felt bad for Chapman because his dad, or whoever it was, couldn't throw strikes. He kept throwing sliders away.
Yeah, and you saw that a lot too because Alonso almost got screwed with his cousin that he had thrown with him. But you got to think, though, that was Chapman got filled in at the last minute because Christian Yelich wanted to play the All-Star game, but he felt hurt for the Home Run Derby. And let's be real, all those swings you take, you could easily risk that injury a little bit better.
Yeah.
But, say put this into perspective, okay? I'm a professional baseball player, and you're my dad, and I get a last-minute phone call saying, "Hey, do you want to be in the Home Run Derby?" I'm like, "Yeah, hey, Dad, you want to go throw the Home Run Derby for me in front of thousands and thousands of people?"
I'd be like, no.
How nervous would you be walking on that mound knowing that you have to throw the perfect pitch for me to hit a home run? Because, you think about, yes, the batter has to hit the ball hard, but those pitches really, rely heavily. The batter's relying for you to put that ball perfectly in my hot zone.
Yeah, but the way they did it, they could adjust where they want the pitcher to throw from. I could do it. We threw how many balls did I throw in batting practice?
Yeah, but there were times where you couldn't hit the strike zone, though.
Yeah, that's when I had shoulder problems, but I think I could do it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like I'd be frustrated, be like, yo, come on, throw me the ball, like, just throw it right here down the plate. But there's a lot of nerves going on. But just in general, to watch how far the ball was going last night, like, even Acuna was putting so much distance on those balls. It's just a different type of generation when it comes to the home run derby now. I mean, Mark Teixeira kept saying how people were struggling to hit 4 home runs back in his day. It's completely different now.
It is. It is. And these guys actually practice this. Guerrero was practicing in batting practice. He was doing 4-minute sessions of hitting as many balls as he could, and it paid off for him for the show he put on. He didn't win it, but for the show he put on.
And plus, you put the $1 million on the line. That makes everything else a little more competitive.
Yeah, and you know what kind of sucked was Guerrero. He went first in the first round, and he went first again in the second round. He really didn't get much of a break. It should be different. It should go by total home runs or something. They should just, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a great home run derby last night, but I think they could change it where, you know, a guy hits 91 home runs and he doesn't win anything. It's kind of insane. Maybe
yeah, he should have got some. I mean, he broke so many records last night.
I mean, it should give him half of the trophy or something because him and Peterson, they put on a hell of a show.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked how the final round went. Like, I mean, Guerrero, you know, he put up so many home runs, and then that last one he just didn't get. Alonso got. You could see he got hotter and hotter. His first session he barely got by. The second one he started getting well, and then him and the pitcher, like, they just clicked that last round.
Yeah, but you could see guys were getting tired too.
Oh my God!
I don't know how Peterson even tied
Guerrero.
it. Yeah, Peterson looked winded. Acuna looked winded. Man.
And what sucks for Peterson is he had the 4-minute session. Then when they went to the 3-swing swing off, you know, Guerrero did his 3 swings, and it's like Peterson's right back out there after 4 minutes of swinging your bat.
They're still saying that they think that he had 30 home runs in that second round, that he actually didn't tie him because they couldn't keep track of the home runs that were going out. They had him at 31 at one point, then it went back down to 29.
And Teixeira was complaining about that because when we watched it here, it said he had 31, but then he was saying the board at the game said 30. So for all we know, there was a 31st home run there that we didn't see.
Yeah. How about who was it? Verlander came out and said that the balls are juiced this year, and then the commissioner came out and he said that, no, the balls have not changed. You know, Major League Baseball now owns Rawlings. So
yeah, and
if something did change, I mean, I think they would know, and they do have scientists that study the balls, the size of the pill that's inside there, but I mean, I did a little research, and it's like right when they bought the Rawlings balls, that's when like home runs started to spike. Well, they're complaining about the grip and everything too on the balls, but
I mean, I could see. I mean, let's be real. The commissioner's not going to come out and say, "Yeah, we're juicing these balls."
Yeah.
I mean, look at the generation of batters nowadays. Look how many home runs are being hit.
Yeah, but you look at the size of the batters too. I mean, most of these batters now are over 6 foot tall.
But there's always been big batters throughout our lives. You're seeing a lot more home runs nowadays than ever.
But these guys, the pitchers still have advantage. I mean, these pitchers are throwing faster. You know, they're throwing
that's true too,
mid-90s to upper. So
you have a lot of pitchers throwing high 90s now. So basically, I mean, if you just put the bat on there in the right spot, the pitcher's going to do all the power. He's going to provide you with that power to go out of the yard.
And all these stats now, all these analytics, all these stats like distance on home runs, velocity. We've never kept track of any of that before. So now they're doing that. So now these guys think it's juice because everyone's making a big deal about how hard the balls are getting hit. But it probably hasn't changed. Sammy Sosa used to hit the ball hard. McGuire used to hit the ball hard. All these guys hit the ball hard. It's just we didn't keep track of those stats back then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the balls are juiced. Alex Bregman was asked about that actually live on TV yesterday, and he just said, you know, he hasn't been in the league long enough to know a difference between the two types of balls they've had. So I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. For all we know, they are juiced. For all we know, they're not. I don't know. At the end of the day, pitchers still throw the ball, batters still hit the ball. So no matter what, you still got to play the sport.
No, it's funny. They had a poll that came out, and they had the MLB best hats. I guess by the fans, by buying them. Who do you think was the top 5? If you had to guess
for a hat,
for hats, and it just doesn't go by sales. It goes by like the color and, you know, the how the hats look. And
I was gonna say, if it's going by sales, I feel like LA gets a lot of hats bought. Are they in the top 5 there?
The Angels are 5th. The Dodgers aren't even in the top 10.
Oh, wow. Yankees? I feel like everyone has a Yankees hat. I feel like you see so many Yankees hats.
Yankees are number 3.
All right, so you got the Angels, you got the Yankees. I mean, I don't know. Just raffle them off for us.
All right, I'll do the top 10. 10 is the Red Sox. 9 is the Twins. 8 is the Rangers. 7 is the Nationals. 6 is the Cards. 5 is the Angels. 4 is the Mets. 3 is the Yankees. 2 is Baltimore. And the top hat being sold in the MLB is Toronto Blue Jays.
Really?
Yep.
I'm shocked the Twins are in there, too.
Yeah, I guess it goes by all the color designs and stuff like that. But on a side note,
the Blue Jays is a nice hat.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, that's a little shocking.
On a side note, 16-year-old Blaze Jordan won the junior high school home run derby in Cleveland last night. This kid was only 16 years old.
Wait, is that where they had the home run derby after the regular home run derby, like in between?
I don't know if it was before or if it was after or whatever, but this kid went against all the national high school seniors, and he won, 16 years old.
It's crazy when you can see a 16-year-old go to a professional ballpark and like hit balls out.
And this kid he's gonna graduate next year, and he's eligible for the baseball draft in 2020.
Wow.
Crazy. 16
but they used metal bats though for their home run derby, but still,
just remember that name, Blaze Jordan.
All right, so the All-Star game is currently going on right now. We actually have it playing in the background with no sound on, and I mean, AL's in possession to take the lead right now with Santana batting. But the biggest things coming into the All-Star break is actually they just scored right now. Just to let you know,
this game is so important though because it's still who gets home field for the World Series.
And I love that they do that.
Yeah,
it makes it even. Because a lot of people think that the team with the better record should get home field advantage, but I like this because then it gives the All-Star game a little bit more seriousness. Because when you watch the NFL All-Star game, I mean, you don't see hard playing. It's more of a goofy around thing. I mean, this All-Star game, they have fun, don't get me wrong.
And the coaches,
but
they
play
coach.
hard.
They gotta think, too. I mean, you've seen in All-Star games in the past where pitchers actually pitched more than one inning.
Yeah, well, Chris Sale, we were talking about that before we started. I said, do you think Verlander's going to pitch more than one inning? Because Chris Sale pitched, I think, 2 last year.
Well, it's going to come down to how bad they want to win this game. I think Tanaka is the second pitcher to come in.
I'm excited to see. I don't know if I missed it or if he got out, or if DJ LeMahieu got on, but I'm telling you, man, DJ LeMahieu is like, he has a chance to win AL MVP. I mean, MVP to me isn't just a guy who hits home runs. It's a game changer.
He's a steal. He was a steal for the Yankees. I'm so glad they got him. They didn't waste $300 million on a couple other people we were talking about.
And if you would compare him right now to like Bryce Harper and Machado, like we won not getting either one of those guys. Bryce Harper,
absolutely. Bryce
Harper, great player, but he's struggling with the Phillies right now.
This guy is going to be a Gold Glover. He plays multiple positions. He plays first, second,
he's
third,
batting over 300
and shortstop.
for us. He's averaging almost 2 hits a game for us.
Yeah, he's an amazing person, and he's a great defender. I mean, he's a Gold Glove. I mean, this guy, and if he does win the batting title, he'll be the first player ever in baseball history to win it both in the National and American League.
That's awesome. Yeah.
He's definitely is a steal. He's definitely somebody that I hope the Yankees keep for a long time. I mean, he's not that old, and he's a great utility player. I mean, he gives you everything that you could ask for from a player, and he's not a guy that worries about playing any position. He'll go anywhere, so it's good.
I think the best thing about getting close to the All-Star game and a couple weeks after is, all the trade rumors you hear become true around this time. So before we get into some of the Yankees talk that we're going into, I think one of the biggest rumor talks right now is where's Madison Bumgarner going to be dealt? Now,
I could see him going to Boston, to be honest with you.
Now, here's a few teams that are interested in Madison Bumgarner right now. You have Houston, Minnesota, Atlanta, and Milwaukee are among the teams that are interested in Bumgarner. What's funny, though, is that Atlanta, Houston, and Milwaukee are on his no-trade list. So that leaves just Minnesota. But
yeah.
I don't understand how you have a no-trade list. Like, what's crazy is...
But that's more control for him, so that the team just couldn't go and trade him whenever he wanted to. If he wants to go to them, he can.
But I don't know why you have a list like that, because I mean the Giants aren't really having that great of a season. Madison Bumgarner's 5-7 right now with a 4.3 ERA in 19 starts. He hasn't reached double-digit wins since 2016. So at that point, I would be like, okay, I'm not going to have a no-trade list because I just want to go to the best team where I can win a championship, because it's not going to happen with the Giants anytime soon.
Well, they said the Yankees too, and the Mets. I mean, the Yankees and Red Sox have been asking the Mets about Wheeler. I know Wheeler, he can be a good pitcher, but I don't know. I don't think I want somebody like that. I hope the Yankees go after what the rumor was the other day was Stroman and was it Giles?
I just wanted to say if I had to pick somewhere for Bumgarner to go, it'd be Atlanta. Just because Atlanta, they already added Dallas Keuchel to free agency, so they brought in another veteran.
You just have you like Atlanta.
No.
You always talk about
Atlanta's
Atlanta.
my second team, but you got to think, like, Atlanta, first place right now, if they got Bumgarner, how much momentum would that make for their push to the World Series this year?
But Bumgarner's older, too. I think, if anything, he'll go to an American League team where he doesn't have to bat. You know, he can come in, just pitch.
He
do
likes
his
to
thing.
bat, though. He hits home runs.
Yeah, he has in the past, but I don't know how he's doing this year as far as stats.
I just think he needs to be surrounded by a winning team again. I mean, just think when the Giants were good, he was good. Now they suck. They don't suck. They're just not as dominant anymore as they were.
And let's face it, the Giants are going to want something in return for him. They're not just going to give him away.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy does have a great record when it comes to October, and he's been in several World Series, so he's not going to come cheap.
Yeah. All right, so the Yankees are interested in two people, and we've had this talk many times between ourselves, how the Yankees need a dominant starting pitcher right now, because the Yankees never can just go after a good starting pitcher. It's always like a guy who's in his later years, who's somewhat good, like a J. Happ, like a
Paxton.
I couldn't think of his name, thank you. So now the two guys on the radar right now is Bauer and Stroman. Now if they go with the Stroman, they're also talking about getting Giles. If I had to pick one, that's tough because Bauer's known to have good stats.
But the good thing about Stroman is they'll have team control of him till 2021. The only thing I hate about it is they're talking about giving away that Davy Garcia kid, that kid that is like phenomenal. He just pitched in the World All-Star game. I mean, he struck out, I think it was 15 batters in 6 innings or something like that. The kid is a great pitcher. And those are the kind of guys that we have to keep. I mean, I think he's like our number 4 prospect or something like that. We can't give away players like that. And they're also talking about Estevan Florio in the trade as well. You can't give away young talent, especially to a team that's in our division.
What I told you, though, is, the Yankees are at a point where we don't need our prospects. And I'm not saying that no team needs prospects, but you get to a point in a franchise where it's, okay, we have multiple young superstars who are still in their early 20s.
Yeah, but the thing
is, if we can give up a prospect who won't get up here in a while to get a good guy, the Yankees are in first place right now.
Okay, but
you need to get a starting pitcher who can lead us to the playoffs and through the playoffs. If you can get Stroman or Bauer, that's huge.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you something now, and this is from just not common sense. It's from just being a coach and knowing things. Stroman's always injured. Okay, our rotation right now. If you give away one of our best young talents, you have Happ, who's old. You have Tanaka, who's getting old. You have Paxton, he's not that old, but you have CC Sabathia. So what are you going to put into this lineup next year if these guys if we get rid of them or if they're not there?
Well, think about
Stroman. You can't depend on Stroman. He doesn't pitch a full season.
Okay, you got to think about it like this though. Okay, Severino. Young.
Injured.
Stroman. Your first injury. Stroman, young. You have Tanaka, who's still young. You have Jordan Montgomery, who's coming back.
Tanaka's not young.
You also forgot about Domingo Germán. Okay, that's 4 young guys if you take out
Tanaka.
If you take out Tanaka, that's 4 young starters who could be key young starters.
Okay, and now let's go back to Severino. He had 1 good year last year.
2 good years.
No,
his rookie year, he was good. You can't even say that.
He was not because he got bumped to be a reliever.
That was his second year. His rookie year when he came up, he was lights out.
Okay, first of all, last year was the first year where anyone started talking about how good he is. He had control problems in the past. This year he was supposed to be awesome or ace. He's not going to pitch this year. Let's face it.
I wouldn't rush it, no, because he's
not
too valuable.
Pitch. Jordan Montgomery, another young arm. Who knows when he's coming back?
You still got Domingo Germán.
Okay,
though.
so you have Germán. Okay, so you're going to put Germán with Stroman. Okay, so what happens if Stroman's down? Then you're in the same predicament. You got to start bringing up these young kids. And you got to give these kids are showcasing their talent in Trenton and down there in AAA.
Who's the guy we had last year that came up with the blonde hair? He was our young prospect pitcher that we brought up, and he pitched decent. I haven't heard from him in a while. Oh, God.
We probably traded him.
We traded the one guy to Seattle, and we saw him yesterday.
Yeah,
he's in Double-A now.
Sheffield, we traded him.
What was the other guy's name?
We had that James Caperlin that we got rid of him.
No.
Chance Adams.
Chance Adams.
He came up this year, too, but for some reason, he doesn't pitch well up here.
All right, well, the Yankees and Twins are the two teams that are interested in the pair of Stroman and Giles, okay? Stroman's a 10-game winner and has an ERA of 3.18, has only given up 37 earned runs over 18 starts. You also have to think, too, Stroman's coming from a team that never gives him run support.
But they're also talking about going after Bauer, too.
I know, and that's why I said if I had to pick one, it's tough because Bauer has been better.
I think Bauer has the better pedigree, but I think Bauer's older.
But what's nice with Stroman is I think Stroman fits with our team so well because he has so much swagger.
Well, he's young, and like I said, he's under team control for a couple years, but the problem is his health. He was hurt last year.
And what's nice, though, is that Blue Jays might not mind trading him to the East since they already traded us J. Happ last year. Now, if you throw him in our rotation, it'd be him, Domingo Germán, J. Happ, James Paxton, Tanaka.
What are you willing to give up to give to Toronto?
I'm willing to give up a lower A guy that's pitching for now. I am.
Do you think they're seriously going to take that?
I think that. I think if you're Toronto right now, you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. right now. Okay, you're a young franchise player. They're probably willing to trade for young prospects right now to build around him.
One of them is Estevan Florio,
and I will happily get Florio just because we have so many young guys.
No. Our offense is old, and our outfield is getting old, and our outfield can't stay healthy too. Judge can't stay healthy for the last 2 years. Stan's a waste. Hicks, he's another one. He cannot play more than 100 games. He never has. Gardner, getting old.
You say Gardner getting old, but Gardner's never injured for us, and Gardner is batting well right now.
Gardner is a soldier, and I give him credit. That guy, he's diehard. He'll play through anything. But he's going to be 37, I believe.
I think we're way off for that one.
No, we're not. I think he's 36. He's either 35 or 36 now. So, you can't keep saying, I'll give away this guy and that guy. Estevan Florio is going to be our future center fielder.
The only reason I'm saying that right now is because if you look at our team right now, okay, we have a World Series team, okay?
Absolutely.
But if you want to go to the World Series and win it, you need an ace right now.
I understand that.
And you need to pull the trigger, and you need to get that ace right now.
I understand that.
You
but
have
you can't be.
Boston is struggling right now. The Rays just beat us 2 games. Okay, you need a good pitcher to get us through the postseason.
I understand that.
Because how many times did we make it to the wild card or the first round and our pitchers get lit up?
But we're the best team in the American League right now. We've got there what we have right now. I would not bet the whole farm.
But just watch what you said, though. How many games have we struggled pitching, but our offense led us through those games?
I understand that, but I am not going to freaking take my whole farm system, my future, and just piss it away just for this year. You got to be smart with what you do. The only way I'd give away anything that was like top notch is if I'm getting someone like Greinke. That's it.
Greinke's older than Stroman.
Or a Syndergaard or something like that. I'm just saying. But that Greinke is older, but his ERA is, 2-something?
Also, it's a big contract coming with him.
Well, I'm just saying, Tyler, the Yankees don't worry about contracts. They have the money to do it. But my thing is I am not giving away my superstars for someone who doesn't pitch a full year.
I'm sorry, I'm pulling that trigger. I want to win the World Series.
But you're not guaranteed to.
The only thing with Stroman is that he's 2-5 at Yankee Stadium with 6.37 ERA in 9 starts.
Small porch. It means he's a fly ball hitter. So you gotta be careful. You just can't go, I want this guy, I want that guy. You need somebody that can come in and from day one, help us out. What's that other guy? Castillo, whatever his name is, from the Reds or something like that? That young pitcher that's lighting it up out there?
I know there's another guy in Miami, too, that's lighting it up that they were talking about. I saw today on MLB trade rumors before the All-Star break ends is that they think Yasiel Puig's going to be traded because it's his contract year, which I kind of hope he stays with the Reds just because him and Derek Dietrich and Votto, they're obviously in last place in a tough division, and they're still hanging on. But they said the long shot team is the New York Yankees, to have him traded there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Now, when I saw that at first, I was like, that's kind of stupid. But then I thought, okay, it's kind of like what we just said. You know how Manny Machado for the LA Dodgers, they made a run at the World Series. They picked him up for a 1-year rental. Yeah. Imagine picking up Yasiel Puig for a 1-year rental because Stanton's still injured, and you could throw him in there to hit. That porch is short. That porch is real short.
Yeah, and we could use the outfield help, especially with not
and
knowing what's going on with Stan.
He's young.
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine him, Judge, and Hicks out there?
Yeah, exactly. He's got a great arm and everything, but the Yankees have to be wise because coming out of this All-Star break, we have a tough stretch. We have 3 games against Toronto, and then we have 4 games with Tampa Bay again. And if we lose that series, Tampa Bay's right back in it again.
Well, it's nice that we still have a 6.5 game lead on Tampa Bay Rays,
And then
9 game lead on Boston. So I mean, luckily for us, Boston's struggling.
Well, Boston won 4 in a row, and not to mention we have a 3-game series with Colorado, and then we play the Twins and we play Boston, and then when we play Boston, we play them 4 games. We play Arizona twice, and then we play Boston again for another 4 games. So this division is going to come down to this stretch right here. If the Yankees can take both those series, they can put this division away.
Yeah.
But if they lose that, man, Boston's right back in the mix again.
You know, I'm looking at the Reds standings right now. You know, they're 41-46. They're only 4.5 out of first place. I don't think you trade Yasiel Puig right now. You're 4.5 out.
Well,
dude, oh my God! Like I'm looking at the West divisions right now, where it's Arizona, LA, and San Diego Padres. Remember how we picked Colorado to run that division? Mm-hmm. They're 14.5 out, and what's crazy is that they have a decent, mediocre record that you see normally. Dodgers are 60-32.
Yeah, I know.
60-32.
That's because they have some amazing pitching. I mean, they lost 3 in a row before the break, but even the run differential is 129. They're scoring runs. They're pitching great.
What's crazy, the Twins are dropping now. Because remember how they had a 12-game lead over the Indians and the White Sox? The Indians are only 5.5 out now.
Well, I'll tell you what. One team to keep an eye on is the Texas Rangers, because they're 48-42. They're 9 games back now. They were just 5
That was supposed to be a rebuild year.
It was. They're doing a lot better than they thought. But if they come out of the break, and I think they have a 4-game series against Houston, if they lose that series, watch a pitcher like Mike Minor. Mike Minor's their best pitcher on that team.
He's old. He's pitching great.
But that's the kind of guy that you could pick up and you could use maybe like a low A or a double A, someone like that you can throw to them where it's not gonna cost you a bunch.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That'd be interesting. And another team they were talking about too is the Nationals. The Nationals, they just passed the Phillies. I mean,
and I saw that, and I said, "Yo, you picked the Nationals for the World Series." You know what I'm saying?
And that's. They're talking about them being sellers, but I don't think they're gonna sell. I really don't.
What I don't understand is the Phillies have all the talent in the world, man, and it's just not happening.
Dude,
and I just saw Arrieta. He needs surgery in his elbow, but he's not gonna get it right away. And then the New York Mets, they keep getting calls about whether they're selling or not.
Dude,
but they're not.
Every year with the freaking Phillies, man. Every year.
The Mets, they're not letting anyone know yet because they don't know if they want to sell or not yet. Because they still have a good young team. I wouldn't sell yet. I would keep your pitching. I mean, look at Alonso. His rookie year, he's had 30 home runs already.
But there's rumors about Joe Girardi becoming the next coach there.
He was commentating the other day, and he was great. I got so fired up listening to him.
There's a lot of tension in that whole organization right now. The coach, the GM, and there's a lot of conflict going on. I really don't see that coach sticking around long, or maybe the GM even going. But Joe Girardi is a name that's being thrown out there as going to the Mets.
Yeah. All-Star game is still 0-0 right now with Alex Bregman on first base. Kershaw's pitching.
I thought you said the American League scored.
It was 2 outs. It was 2 outs. But let's move on to some NBA. There's so much to talk about NBA. I think the biggest news right now is LeBron versus Kawhi. Kawhi has taken it to LeBron's house. Like, he's in the same building as LeBron, but he ain't with LeBron.
You know what's crazy is now the West is the best over there. I mean, you have so many teams now that could be like contending for a championship. I mean, it is nuts.
Okay, so you basically have LeBron and AD versus Kawhi and Paul George. What's crazy is that nobody knew where Kawhi was going. Everyone knew, like people were meeting, Kyrie was meeting with the Nets, KD was meeting with the Nets, like Kawhi wanted no one to know. When he met with the Lakers and Toronto, people let people know. And like he basically said, like, how can I trust you when I told you not to let anyone know? So when the Clippers came out and got him, they didn't let anyone know. That's crazy to think that nobody leaked anything. I mean, you think about Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump can tweet something or have a secret meeting and it gets leaked. You know what I mean? Like, nobody said a word. And then he got Paul George to go over there.
I just can't believe what they gave away to get him. Was it 5 first-round picks?
Yeah, so they got 5 first-round picks. 4 of them are unprotected, though. So you don't even know if you're going to get a good pick out of those. You know what I mean? I mean, they're still first-round picks, but they're unprotected. They're not. You don't know if they're going to be the lottery. But, I mean, are the Clippers now the best team in the West?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a couple teams that are going to be – I think the West is going to be crazy this year. I think there is no true super team now. There's a bunch of teams that have good players.
And I love that because you think Golden State is no longer a super team, but they're still good.
They're gonna be good.
Klay Thompson's gonna come back. It's still him. It's still Steph Curry.
Still have Draymond. I mean,
they're still a good team.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers are there. Portland's there. Denver's there. Utah's there. The Lakers are there now. The Clippers are there now.
And what's crazy is it's not 5 superstar players. Each team has like 3 solid superstars, and it's just, I mean, if you look at the Clippers are totally better defensively.
I don't see Golden State being the top seed no more. I could see them, I could see them 6, 7, 8 somewhere there, making a run. Hey, Houston's another one. They didn't really break that team up yet. So
Houston's still good, yeah.
They're another one. But they came out with, since the trades are all done, they came out with the best duos in basketball, and
right now,
and it's kind of weird because these teams haven't played together yet. But according to this article, number 12, the Celtics, Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum. Number 11, the Pacers, Victor Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon. 10 is the Jazz, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. 9, James Harden, Chris Paul, which I don't know.
That's stupid because there's so much drama between them.
Yeah. 8 is the Nuggets, Jokic and Murray. 7, Sixers, Embiid and Simmons. 6 is the Trailblazers, Lillard and McCollum. 5, they still have the Warriors at number 5, Curry and Clay.
I mean, they're a dominant duo.
The Bucks are number 4 with Giannis and Chris Middleton. And let's see, can you guess the top 3?
I'm probably going to say number 1's LeBron and AD.
Nope, that's number 2.
Okay.
Anthony Davis and LeBron.
So number 1's probably going to be KD and Kyrie.
Nope, they're number 3.
So the number 1's going to be Kawhi and Paul.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can even rank the Nets as the number 3 team because Kevin Durant and Kyrie won't play together next year at all.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Another big news that's come out too is LeBron James is now going to be the point guard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which really makes no sense because he's been the point guard for how many teams?
He's been the forward though.
No, but he brings the ball up the court. He leads the team in assists. He's the point guard.
What they're saying about him playing point guard though is that this can extend his service time by several years and reduce the overall wear and tear on his physical body just because he'll pass the ball more and shoot rather than going in for the dunks and everything.
And I think that's crap.
Yeah.
Because as a point guard, he's going to defend against fast point guards, and he's not going to be able to keep up with those guys. He's going to have to do like Magic Johnson, play point guard and then switch to forward on defense.
You're gonna have LeBron James and Danny Green starting in the backcourt. You're gonna have Davis. You're gonna have Boogie at center, and then you're gonna have Kuzma coming in. But LeBron's wearing number 6 and Boogie's wearing his old number 15.
They're gonna be a good team. I don't think that there's enough there for a championship yet. I really don't.
I look at
Boogie Cousins, he's injured.
If I had to pick which LA team's gonna be better, I'm going with the Clippers just because the
absolutely.
Clippers have a better defense. Besides, Danny Green's like the only guy that can really defend on that team. When's the last time you saw LeBron James play great defense? You don't.
When he's with Miami in the playoffs, that's when he steps up his game.
There's too much good defense on the Clippers. I mean, Kawhi can just rip the ball out of your hand. Paul George is a good defender. You're getting a guy who was almost MVP this year out of Paul George. You have Kawhi, who was the Finals MVP. That team's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
I agree, but like we said before, I don't think you can guarantee and say, "Yep, that's it. They won the championship."
No, I think they'll go to the playoffs.
There's too many teams in the West. It's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see.
I mean, you think that they got to the playoffs without these two guys,
yeah,
and now you bring Kawhi and you're bringing Paul George, you're going to the playoffs right there.
But I think as far as the East goes, I think the East is wide open.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I think Milwaukee and the Sixers have to be the top 2 in that conference.
You think the Sixers are the best team in the East now?
I think they're better than last year. Honestly, I think they're a better defensive team. I think they have more pieces now. Sure, Jimmy Butler was great, but I think what we picked up, I think we're a better team now.
I think
defensively and with the guys that are playing in the summer league,
Zahari Smith looks great.
He looks amazing.
He looks great. I think when you look at the Sixers, you are looking at the best team in the East right now. I think that Milwaukee's right there with them, but I think that the Sixers, how their defense looks, they look great. Korver just way by Utah. Sixers. If you look at the Sixers bench right now,
I would pick Korver up.
Sixers bench looks pretty bad right now. I'm not gonna lie, because you have Mike Scott there, who's great.
Yeah, but
and
I
you have
think,
Zahari Smith.
I think they're going to fill that with a lot of these guys from the summer league
Yeah.
team.
Well, they had those guys on the list.
Yeah.
You need a shooter, and Kyle Korver will be great for that. You get him off the bench. He's an older guy, reunion with the Sixers. He played on the Hawks with Al Horford and Mike Scott together, so you already have some chemistry right there. Now, the Lakers and the Sixers and the Bucks are front runners to sign Korver. I got a bad feeling he's going to go to L.A. He's from California. L.A. could really use a shooter off the bench.
Well, LeBron liked him.
He's a good player.
I would love to see him come back to the Sixers and end his career where he started it, but
And you can get him for the veterans minimum, too. So it's not even like you're paying a lot out of your pocket.
well, the problem is going to be with the Sixers is going to be outside perimeter shooting. You're going to be depending on Harris, and you're going to be depending on Richardson, and
Well, you also have Scott who can shoot. Embiid likes to shoot the ball a lot.
yeah,
I think that they wanted to play. I saw something about they want to play Zari Smith at point guard behind Simmons.
I think we should.
I don't know if can he shoot threes?
Yeah, and he just had a good night the other night shooting threes. I think we need someone to shoot threes, and
I wish we didn't trade Shamet. I liked Shamet a lot. He was good at shooting, and I really liked him. He could have been the backup point guard to Simmons. I really did like him.
it's going to be interesting though to see what Russell Wilson does. Not Russell Wilson. You know what
The
I mean.
big, I know what you mean. The
Russell
biggest,
Westbrook.
the biggest news probably going on right now
Russell
is
Westbrook.
Westbrook's trade rumors.
I mean, they have him going. They have him going all over the place. They have him going to Miami. The Knicks are interested, and I think that would be perfect for him to go to New York and be in the Knicks by himself. Then he can just,
It'd be awesome for him to go to the Knicks. I think.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing you take out of this right now is, okay, you look at who has left Russell Westbrook. KD left. Harden left. Paul George said, I had enough. I want to be traded. So does this show you now, like, I personally like the way Russell Westbrook plays because he's a hard worker. He's a hard player. But when you look at these players leaving, you got to think, is Russell Westbrook all about his own stats? 3 years in a row, they lose in the first round.
He doesn't like to give the ball up with 5 minutes to go in the playoffs or any game, really.
What's crazy is, so 3 years in a row, they've lost the first round of the playoffs. But yet Russell Westbrook always hits a triple-double. So to me that shows you have a guy who likes to shoot a lot, but not really spread the ball out and win. You have to win.
You know who's sitting back and panicking right now? Jimmy Butler.
I know.
Because he wants to be the alpha male down there. And
what's crazy is Miami's interested. Like, they're all for
I
it.
hope the God he goes to Miami. Just so Jimmy Butler he'll whine his way out of that freaking team.
Well, what's crazy is Jimmy Butler so desperately wants to be the star of the team. But if you think about it, with the Sixers, he was the star. Who did we give the ball to close the games? Who did we give the ball to run down the court against Toronto to get the winning shot?
Jimmy Butler has to be about himself. He's not about being a team player. He's not about being around other superstars. He needs all the articles in the paper to be written about him. And that's how he's always been.
It's two big heads on that team.
He's been like that since he's been with the Chicago Bulls. Him or Westbrook, they would have been a perfect fit to go to the Knicks. Because there's no other superstars there.
Mm-hmm. It's great. I mean, Oklahoma is in a full rebuild mode right now. They traded Paul George.
Oh, Jimmy Grant just left.
They just traded Grant to the Nuggets. I mean, look how many first-round picks they have now.
With Paul George was traded for 5 first-round picks?
So you have Westbrook, who's in a 5-year, $206 million deal. His last 3 seasons, he's averaged a triple-double. The Heat are currently 966,000 below the threshold. Is that good or is that bad? I don't understand that.
But you know what's funny about Paul George? He wanted to leave last year. He wanted to go to the Lakers. But
he's from that area. He played with Kawhi. And that's awesome. I think that they're together.
But they wouldn't trade away the certain Laker players that they wanted to trade, so the deal never went through.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick a team from the go-to, I'd pick Detroit, just because Detroit has Blake Griffin. I think him and Blake Griffin will be a good combination together. I think that if I had to pick out a Harden or Butler, I think him and Butler would be a terrible, terrible combination. I don't think that will work at all. I think Harden would give it a few weeks to try and work it out just because they're friends in real life, but I don't see that working out either because Chris Paul didn't work out, and if they keep Chris Paul, I think there'd be too many big heads there. If I had to pick a team, it'd be Detroit. But
it
just
comes
don't
down
understand.
to money. Who has the money to do it?
What's crazy is the Heat are all for it. Heat are just in that mode where They're getting people left and
But
right.
I think the Heat need help from other teams to make a deal like that go through, because they had to do the same thing for Jimmy Butler, and they don't have enough money to sign him just outright. So something would have to have a bunch of teams involved to make the trade. I know they were talking about Dallas Mavericks being involved. I was listening to 105.3 The Fan, Tello. But they were talking about them possibly being either a 3 or a 4 team deal so that they could get him, Westbrook, to Miami. But it's not to the Knicks. The Knicks need help.
I'm shocked they traded Paul George so quickly, too.
They can put Westbrook's face on the side of one of those big buildings in the city, and he'll be happy.
Well, Westbrook's open to being traded now because apparently they wanted to trade him without him knowing. So now, I mean, he's been so loyal to that team. He's like, I'm out now.
Dude, Oklahoma would be the worst team in the NBA if
that's crazy.
Just think, lose everybody in a blink of an eye.
What you'll see is they'll probably trade Steve Adams next because there's a lot of teams that have him on their radar. And if you see him gone, then Russell Westbrook's gone. That they're going to lose everybody. And just like that, they made the playoffs the last 3 years. They won't make the playoffs for another good couple of years.
You know what's funny about Kawhi? He's the first NBA champion, All-Star, MVP. I mean, did not come back to his team. He's the first one to go. To
if you're Toronto, you're not mad. I mean, obviously you're mad, but I mean, hey, you had a guy come to your team and he brought you your first ever NBA title.
Yeah, but Toronto's always been good though. I don't think they're gonna fall far. I really don't.
You still have some key pieces there. I think you need to go get someone to help Kyle Lowry shoot.
They need another scorer, but I don't think they're gonna be that bad. What's
weird is speaking of the Knicks, I saw the Spurs who just got Marcus Morris. He signed like a 2-year, $20 million deal, which would be huge to the Spurs because the Spurs weren't bad last year. He's a great player for Boston that loaded their team up. He's actually thinking of uncommitting to their team and signing with the Knicks because the Knicks have cleared some space and have been signing some players. So that's crazy. And you know what's crazy is the Knicks actually looked pretty good in Summer League.
Yeah.
What's his name? RJ Barrett?
Yeah.
He looked good. Did you see Zion? Zion looked amazing. He ripped that ball out of that guy like it was nothing and dunked it.
Wasn't that the game the other night where they had the earthquake?
Yeah,
and they stopped the game because the lights were shaking so bad.
I'm gonna tell you, I could see New Orleans being decent this year. Zion's a playmaker. He's a game changer for a team. You got JJ Redick. You still have Drew Holiday. I mean, you lost AD, but you still have a decent team there.
No, Warriors rumors. Willie Cauley-Stein, he apparently agreed to a 2-year, $4 million deal with the Warriors.
I don't think they're going to keep Russell. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how that goes down. But what's funny is I saw today that Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant, the Nets didn't even know that he was coming to sign with them. They found out on Instagram when he posted on Instagram. There was no talks before that. After they signed Kyrie Irving, they found out on Instagram, and they were kind of like, oh, okay. We'll take you.
Well, with the madness of basketball, all the trades and everything over, all we can do is sit back and wait for the start of the season. But I'm excited because football starts. Training camp starts in 2 weeks. And I'm really excited.
Give us a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of talk about possible sleeper teams. The Falcons, the Packers, the Vikings, Steelers, and Jacksonville as all being sleepers. And I'm excited. I can't wait for football, see how the Cowboys turn things around. I mean, this is probably going to be their best team ever on paper. So, see what happens with them, and get the second half of baseball. Can the Yankees hold on? A lot of interesting things getting ready to kick off.
It's going to be fun. We have a lot to talk about, guys. We've enjoyed this podcast today. Don't forget to check out our social medias on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Friday, we might have a special guest.
We might. This will be up on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, and Buzzsprout. I will post all those up on our Facebook page, on our Instagram, or Twitter if you want to follow us. But we've enjoyed this podcast, guys, and we thank you for listening to our podcast. So we'll see you next time.